So I welcome everyone on board. My name is Samson Amwata. I'm one of the members of the Client Success team. I'm joined with my fellow colleagues, fellow panelists. Gonna help in terms of answering your queries. If you have any question, you can wait until the end because we'll have a Q&A section at the end of the webinar, or you can as well ask your questions under the Q&A section on this, and my fellow colleagues would be able to answer your questions as we continue with this webinar. So, before we go to our webinar, we are going to at least remind ourselves on what our honor mission is. So we use data to transform lives where need is greatest. If you have data and you're collecting data, you can use that data to make decisions, and these decisions can create good opportunity for further development. So this is our honor mission, just to remind ourselves. So for today's webinar, as you saw on the invite, we are going to look at form styling. And form styling is designing your form in a way that you can improve the way your form will look like, or in terms of how your form will be presented to users. So it's just a way of designing your form to appear better. So what are the goals of this session? So the goals of this session is gaining insight. When we say by gaining insight, it means that you are going to learn on how you can style your form and improve your form presentations and appearance. We will also look at various styling options that we have, or that some of the users use most, that will allow you to style your form into your liking. So before we move to maybe, for example, let me remove this from here. Okay, so before we look at the form styling, there are some of the things that you need to keep in mind. At this stage of form styling, we know that maybe you might have developed your form and it's working, you've tested it, it's working, but now you want to develop it or design it into a format that will present to users correctly. So one of the things that you keep in mind is that you test your form oftenly. Don't wait until your form is finished or completely finished before you upload it to your own account. So keep on testing your form as you add some bits of questions or groups of questions to your form, or even when you are validating your form, continue testing your form. Also, if you've noticed, right now, Honor only allows .xlsx format. That is the form format that is allowed when you are uploading your form into Honor. So previously, we were allowing .xls, but because of the version, currently version that we are using, even on Excel and other tools that you might use, they are now only allowing .xlsx formats. That is the format that is currently allowed. Also, when naming your survey or your worksheets, make sure that they are all in small letters, and also make sure that it's survey as it is outlined on our documentations. It's survey, not surveys, not in capital letters or not in proper words. Also, make sure that your fields are unique. When we say your field, these are the variables under name columns. These are on worksheet, that is a survey sheet, and the choices sheets. So make sure that they are all unique and there are no duplicates or they are not repeated more than once. Also, spaces are not allowed when you are naming your variables. So make sure that you don't have spaces or special characters. And you can use maybe underscore. There are no events. Events are not as well allowed. So you are in place of spaces, you can use underscores. Make sure your field names are also ideally less than 30 characters. Don't create or name your variables very long characters, because most of the databases don't store variable names that are very long. Also, when naming your column headers, that is, as you know, XLS form, there are those basic column headers that are required. First of all, it's type, name, and label columns. Those columns, make sure that they are named in small lowercase or in small letters. And as well as the choices sheet, also as well, make sure that they are all named in lower cases. So xlsform.org should be your authoring friend. This is the site where you can get the guides on how you can develop your form, or you can author your form. It has all the basic concepts of all how you can develop your form. Now, I think we can now move to you see, it's not moving. Okay, so now let's now move to what we were supposed to go through today. So we'll start with matrix layout. So when we say matrix layout, this is when you have like a group of questions and you might want to put them in a table format. This group of questions, maybe it might not be presented very well when you have like the normal XLS form, where you have each question in each row. So you might want to organize your questions in a table format. So that is what we call matrix layout. So this will, and what will be the importance of using maybe matrix layout? So the importance of this is that it will allow your users to easily view or read through the questions. And at the same time, it will help them to easily collect data. So now let us imagine a form that you have that doesn't have any matrix applied. How will it look like? Maybe you are collecting data for household members, and then you have that form and you have not applied any matrix layout. How will it look like? Let us look at an example of maybe, for example, that form. So this is a form that we developed that is collecting the household member information by age and sex. So these are a group of questions. Maybe you have some categories under 5 years, 5 to 17 years, 18 to 59 years, and 60 or older. And then now you have this kind of the form that you have. But now there is no matrix that has been applied here. So this is how it will look like. I don't know if it's looking good. Now, what do you need to do here for you to have this form, or for you to design it so that it can have like a matrix layout? Now, for you to create a matrix layout, there are some of the things that you need to do. First of all, matrix layout only works on Enketo waveforms and not ODK collect. This is because of the screen size, mostly because most of the ODK collect devices doesn't have a proper screen size that can be used to design a very proper table. So this only works on Enketo. So first of all, what you need to do is to have like a settings worksheet. So what you see here, this is a setting worksheet. Settings worksheet, for those who don't know, these are the sheet that you use to define your form ID, form title, and other things that you need to set on your form. So so this setting worksheet, so what you need to add is the style column that we've added here, and then add theme grid. So theme grid style, this is a style that will convert your form to a theme grid. So after applying this theme grid style on your form, then you will need to create some of the appearance attributes that you will have, so that it can align or design your form in a table format. So first of all, what we said about matrix layout is that it's a table format. So that's a table format, and then we said you group your questions together. So when we say about having like a theme grid design, is that you'll have like a W1, W2, W3. These are the width for each column. When we say width, it means that the number of rows that you will have and the number of columns that you will have. So width will design your form in that each question will be in a row. So when you've defined under your group that I'll have W2, maybe let's say width 2, it means that your questions will be designed into 2 columns. So 2 questions per row. If you say width 3 under the group title, it will design your form to 3 questions per row. So you can imagine of a table, and then you will imagine of rows and columns, because a table will have rows and it will have columns. So if you want to have like your table or your matrix table to have, let's say, 4 questions per row, so you will have W4 on the top of your group as an appearance attribute under the appearance column. So in our instance, we want to put this, we want to put this category, this group of questions into category and the number of household members. So we'll have 2 questions per row. So that's why in my screenshot here, I have W2 as under the group. So in the next instance, now this will be my form. So this is how my form will look like. So I'll have the form under the begin group. I'll have W2 because I want 2 questions per row. So when I have that, then I will have width 1 for the rest of my questions. So that what means is that these are the questions or variables that I'll have inside my groups. So what it will do is that it will align all these questions into 2 questions per row. Now, this is how it will look like in terms of design. Now, you will have category, as we mentioned here, as the first question, and then the second question will be number of household members. So this will be like the first question and then the second question. So it has taken this first row and it has put my first 2 questions. It doesn't like check the type of questions. It's only the calculate that will not show on the on your form, but the rest, like the note, integer, and the other type of questions that you can think of, it will show. So as you can see here now, I have now the other 2, so it will divide 2 each until it finishes all the questions in that group. So as you can see now, I have a better look of that form in terms of a table, and it can be easily read by the users than it was before. So let us look at how that form will look like in terms of the full screen, if you were not able to see it previously. So this is now how it shows, and it looks better than it was like this before. So as you can see before, it was like this, but now it looks better. And someone can look at it and answer it very fast. So that's how you can create it. You can as well work around with these using different scenarios, case scenarios. If you want to have like 4, you'll try to see how it look like with 4 maybe questions per row. But again, if you have like a long labels, if you have like a very long labels, you might want to not use that, because it might not look very well when you have so many questions in per row. And as well as if you have like long labels that will break into so many lines. So you might want to reduce the number of variables or questions that you will have per row. So if you have any question, I might not see it right now, but I guess my fellow panelists will be able to see them. So continue sending them or wait until the end of this session, because we'll have the question and answer. Now, this is how now we compare it side by side. As you can see, it looks better. The first one looks better than the second one. So by design, this looks better. So now let's go to other appearance attributes. So we are going to talk about few appearance attributes that are frequently used by users. One of the appearance attributes that we have seen is the widget appearance attribute, and we've seen on how it can create the matrix table. So we are going to see other appearance attributes that are frequently used by users. Then the rest of the appearance attributes will provide the links to the documentation where you can learn more about appearance attributes and other styling prompts. So what are other appearance attributes that we're going to see in this section? So first of all, we are going to see appearance attributes that you can apply to groups. To groups means when you have maybe you have grouped your questions together, where you have unit group, that's where you are going to appear to apply this appearance attribute. So first of all, we have field lists. Field lists, these are the appearance attributes that will group multiple number of questions together on one screen. So, so for example, you have number of questions that you are asking maybe about household, like the one that we had, and maybe you, as you know, when you are having these questions on OTK Collect, it will show one question at a time on a screen, but you might want to show all the questions together in one group that are belonging to one group together. Maybe, for example, you are collecting data for household information, and you want to collect maybe the name of that member of household, the age, and the gender. So what you do is that you group those questions together, and then you have field it as your appearance attribute. So this appearance attribute, as we mentioned before, they are applied under the column called appearance. So you need to introduce a column called appearance under survey sheet on your XLS form. So this works better in Enketo and OTK Collect. But on Enketo, you need to introduce another style under a setting worksheet that calls pages. So we're going to see on how you can apply this, and on how you can as well include pages as another style on the setting worksheet. Also, another appearance attributes that we are going to see is the list. The list, what does is that it will show multiple questions, maybe select one, mostly it works with select one. So it will have like a shared label on a field list. So what it does is that maybe, for example, you have multiple questions that are asking, but it has the same choices list. Like now you might want to ask questions. Maybe the first question is, which fruit do you like most? Which fruit do you like least? And then those fruits choice lists are shared among those group of questions. So you group those questions together, and then under that group, you'll have table list. So what it does is that it will put those choices list together, and it will share those choices list as one across all those questions. We are going to see on how that works. It works both on Enketo and ODK Collect. But again, on ODK Collect, it depends on the number of choices options that you have and how long those level of choices options are. Because depending on the size of your screen or the size of the device screen, it might not show very well, or it might not correctly show very well. But on Enketo, it works better. And again, you don't want to use it if you have very many choices options. Under select one, under select multiple, we have a couple of appearance attributes that are used frequently by users. So we are going to look at autocomplete widgets. So autocomplete appearance attribute, what does is that it creates sort of a drop down. For example, if you have like so long list of choices that you want to choose from, you might want to use autocomplete as appearance attribute so that when it visualizes on your Enketo waveform or on ODK Collect, somebody can select from a drop down rather than displaying all the choices option, because matter of scrolling and again the minimizing the spaces, you might want to use autocomplete. And again, there is another appearance attribute called like it. Like it, what it does is that it puts your choices option in terms of a like it as a like it. So what it does is that it provides like a line on where you can choose your choices option horizontally. We are going to see how that works. It works both on Enketo and ODK. And also we are going to see the math line appearance attribute. This works on text question types. And what it does is that it creates a larger text field for you to include maybe notes, or if you want to collect more information about that survey. So it works only on Enketo. It doesn't work correctly on ODK Collect. As well as we are going to look at the 1000 separator. So 1000 separator works with integer and decimal question types. So what it does is that it provides a separator, a 1000 separator on the screen while you are collecting data. Maybe, for example, you want to collect information about a certain number that is very large, and you might want users to confirm if they have correctly included the correct number. So you might want to use for them to see the separator. So what separator does is that it will show that 1000 separator on the screen, but it will not be included in the submission. So the submission will have the whole number, but on the screen, they will be able to see that separator. So this works both on ODK and Enketo. So if you want to learn more about appearance attributes, there's a link there. We'll share this presentation after this presentation slides after this session. So you'll be able to click there and see other appearance attributes there. But these are some of the appearance attributes that we are able to gather that are being used by users frequently. So what we are going to look at is the examples of those appearance attributes, and we're going to start with the field list. So as we said, field list, what it does is that it puts all the questions together in one screen. So as you can see here, I have now the household information in one group. So I have a group of questions where I want to ask, but I want to present these to users such that it all appears in one screen. So what you need to do is that you introduce appearance column on your survey sheet, and then you have field list as your appearance attribute on the group. So you've started begin group, and then you have field list as appearance attribute. And then this is how it will show on ODK Collect. This is the first screenshot here, is on how it has shown on ODK Collect, such that it has the household ID, the name, and then age, and then gender. And you can collect that and then go to the next page. Also, on Enketo, this is how it will look like. So on Enketo, we said field list works best if you are using badges as your style under setting worksheet. So so when you have that, normally when you don't have badges, or when you have pages and you don't have field list, it will show one question per page. But now when you have field list on your group, so it will show all that questions in that group in one screen, and then you will be able to go to the next page. So moving to table list. So as we mentioned, the table list, what it does is that it provides, or it provides like a shared choices label for multiple questions. So shared choices list, what it means is that as you can see on this screenshot, we only have one label, but the rest of the questions, you can see only has where you select it. And it works best with select one. It doesn't work with select multiple. As you can see here, I have like a select one question type, and I have fruits as my shared list. So all my questions here share these fruits as my choices list. So what I'll do is that I'll put all questions that share this list together, and then I have table list as appearance attribute. And this is how it will show on both Enketo and ODK. It shows the same. So you have the question here, and then choices list as the column titles, and then it will have where you choose your answers from. So this now helps you not to have like each question will have separate labels, but it will help you to have these shared lists. Now, let's move to another attribute that we are going to call autocomplete for search. As we mentioned, autocomplete, what it does is that it brings the drop down. Let's say you have like 10 choices options to choose from, and for those 10, it will show on one screen the 10 if you don't have this appearance attribute. So for autocomplete, what you'll do is that you'll include autocomplete to your select, either select one or select multiple choices questions, and then what it will do is that it will create a drop down, as you can see here. So it will create a drop down, and then you can select from that drop down. So autocomplete works the same as search and minimal. So if you have like, if you can choose to use either minimal, autocomplete, or search, it works the same. It will just show you the same, it will give you the drop down, same as how autocomplete gives you. Let's now look at the like it. So like it, what it does is that it provides like a liked way of displaying your choices options. And it works better if you're having like a rating question, like you want to rate from maybe a low value to a higher value. Maybe you want to rate something from 1 to 10 or a scale of 1 to 5, or from very low to very high. It works better because it will give you a way where it will put your choices from the first choice to the last. So what you will do is that you will arrange your choices options from the one that is from low rating to the one that has high rating. And then now it will show something like this. So for me, I'll say like it works better in Enketo. This is how it looks like in Enketo, and this is how it will look like on OTK Collect. But again, in OTK Collect, it depends on the screen size. It might break into 2 lines if your screen is too small. But it works best on Enketo. So it will create something like this, so users can select from the lower rating to the highest rating. Now, let's look on the other one that is called multiline. I think this is the last appearance attribute that we're going to look at. So multiline, what it does, we said is that it will provide like a larger space where you can include your notes on your survey. And this works only on the text type of questions. So what you'll do as well, multiline, you'll include it under appearance column. And without multiline appearance, this is how it will look like, this in Enketo. And we mentioned that it only works on Enketo. So this is how it will look like in Enketo. So it has like a smaller space where you include your notes. But if you've included multiline as your appearance attribute, this is now how, it will look like. So it will provide you a larger space where users can include even paragraphs of notes. I think now we move to styling prompts. We are done with the appearance attributes, as well as now we want to do now styling. Styling is mainly on how you are going to design how maybe your questions will look like. We are going to look at a few styling prompts that are as well used by few users. And other styling prompts, you'll be able to look at them on the links that we will be shared with you. Now, what are some of the styling prompts that we are going to look at? We are going to look at text alignment, emphasis, hyperlinks, and fonts and colors. So we are going to see on how you can align your texts. Maybe you want to align them centrally to start from central. You want to align them to the left, to the right, or you are going to emphasize on certain things, like you want to put your labels maybe in italics, some words in italics. You are going to underline some words. You want to put some of the words in bold. How are you going to include links, like now hyperlinks, and how are you going to use fonts and colors? What I'll do is that I'll show all of them together on how you are going to do them. And if you have any other question, please continue including them on the Q&A section. So italic, how are you going to put some of the italics to your labels? Now, this is our under label column. And if you want to include like an italic, you use single underscore before and at the end of the words that you want to include. If I wanted to only include just a word note, I'll use the underscore before the word note and after the word note. If it's the full sentence, like this, the first italic note, I'll use it before the beginning of the sentence and then at the end of the sentence. As well, you can use single italic, single aesthetic symbol to change your label to italic. It works the same as the single underscore. If you want to bold some of the words or sentences in your label or in your questions, you can use the double underscore as I've shown here. So that also works like before the question label or before a certain word. If you want to emphasize on a certain word to be in bold, you include that as before that word and at the end of that word. The same way with aesthetic symbol, so you can use it double aesthetic before and after that word or a sentence. So how are you going to use the hyperlink? So for hyperlink, you are going to include like if it's a certain word, let's say like a link only. So what you do is that you will put the square bracket before and you enclose it on that word. And then you, with the round normal bracket, then that's where you will include the link to that word so that it can be hyperlinked. So how it will look like, you can see the screenshot here on how it will look like. So because I used on the whole sentence, so the whole sentence will have that hyperlink. And when the user clicks on that, it will take them to where my redirection link is. So it will direct the user to this link, which is, in my case, the owner platform. But if you have other links, this is how you can include it. For the fonts, you'll use the markdown way of styling. So you'll have that style of including like a font for the color. So you can use this symbol and then you include your color. You can use the color, then colon, then you include the color if it's known. But if it has like an X code, you can as well, this is how you can use the X code. In that way, this is how it will show on the screenshot. So it will have like the green color. If you see here, my word that I've changed the color is green color here, but you can as well change to any word or any sentence as you might want to change. So that's how you can style your labels for italic, bold, hyperlinks, and fonts. Now, how are you going to align your text? As we mentioned that XLS form, that is Enketo, both Enketo and ODK, supports Markdown styles, but please note that not all Markdown styles are supported on both Enketo and ODK. So there are some that are not supported, but as well, we'll provide a link where you can check on which other styles that are not supported. So for alignment, you'll use the Markdown text alignment style, where you'll have the text align variable, and then you can mention maybe if you want to be centered, or if you want to go to the left or to the right. Please note, this style is not supported in Enketo, but it's supported in ODK Collect, the text align. So you might want to test it in Enketo and it might not work. But on a ODK Collect, it works. So as you can see, I've aligned my word, which is in this case, letter A, and the letter B. I had letter B that I had in my XLS form that I took the screenshot from. So it has been aligned to the center. These on ODK Collect. I've added a note there to just show you that this is not supported on Enketo. So if I wanted to do it on the left, I'll add this, I'll replace center with the left, and if it's to the right, then I'll replace it to the right. So that is basically some of the styling prompts that I had before that we wanted to show this on this session. But for the rest of the other prompts, you will find them on the links. Now, let's move to questions that were shared before this session. I know there were some of the questions that were shared before this, but most of them were not related to this session. So we didn't find time to have those responses, but we responded to those individual questions to the individual emails because they were not related to this session. Now we'll move to Q&A session. If you have any other question that you've not raised under Q&A and you want to vocalize it, please go ahead. It's your time. Shoaib, you've raised your hand. Let me see if you can hear you. Go ahead and ask your question. Yes, I can't hear you. I don't know if others can hear.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, my question is on that that there is one table list you are showing. So I have one scenario. I want to build a matrix question where column is different, header is different, and I want a text input there. Like matrix question, I want to ask to user, and I want not a single choice or multiple choice. I want text value there. Is there any way to get this information?
I don't know if I clearly heard your question. Evans, did you get the question correctly?
Like suppose the column is country name, and row side matrix is month-wise number. So I want that integer number for each country or each month in that matrix through the table or something else.
So you want to just reiterate what you said is that you want to have numbers in your matrix table?
Yeah, numbers or sometimes text value depend on the situation. Like you show me, like you show here to the table list example.
Yes.
Quickly show that example. In that, I just want to, yeah, here. Suppose this is a table and
Yes.
apple, orange, watermelon. These are instead of check mark, I want text value here. I want to write something.
Yeah, if you want to include like the text,
Yeah.
what you'll do is that you'll use now the matrix layout that I showed earlier, rather than having like a table list. Because what table list does is that it only works with select one. When you are going to select certain choices option, and those choices option you want them to be shared across the questions. So if you wanted to have like a text here, then you'll format that to a matrix type of styling, where now you'll have to define the number of questions that you want to see per row. If you wanted to see like 4, like now these 4, now you'll have apple, orange, watermelon, and banana as your question, text questions, and then apply the widget on them so that it will show 4 questions per row. So under your group, so you'll have W4 as your, so that means widget 4. So it will have 4 widgets per row. Yeah, so
Okay.
you change that to a matrix table.
Show me something if it's possible.
Yeah, it's
Matrix.
something. Yeah.
Mhm. Because I'm stuck there. I'm working in the same situation.
Okay, so what you'll do is that you can share your sample form to support at honor.io. And then maybe if you fail to have it a proper form, and then somebody will help you to troubleshoot the form.
Yeah, yeah. If you just quickly show if possible, so I'll get my answer.
Yeah. For now, we might not, or it might be not possible to show right now, but you can send an email to support@honor.io and somebody will maybe show you an example.
Okay. Okay, got it. Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. The person that raised the hand, I saw some hands there. I don't know who was it. Let me check. Ahmed. Can't hear you, Ahmed. Okay. We can't hear you, Ahmed. You can write down your question. Maybe somebody can answer you because of time, so that we can move to another person. Okay. I don't know if I can pronounce your name correctly. Aziz. Aziz, you are on mute. Okay, we'll move to Nur Ahmed.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, my brother Samson Amwata. Can you hear me very well?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Thank you for this session. As very important for us to participate this an event. I have a few questions related to this styling issue. I wanted to ask you a question about when styling issues like italic, hyperlink, those issue like when we wanted to sit like some issue in the table. So it is very helpful for me to sit a proper stage of data I have collected, for example, in the field. So it is very simplified for those I want to present issue, or just will be like very clear to other than.
So to reiterate what you've said is that you want to know if this is important to your users who are on the field.
Yeah, yes.
Go ahead.
Continue. Yeah, is this helpful for important for the field staff and those who wanted to participate to the other staff field members? For example, as I'm field monitor, I have collected data from the field. I wanted to participate to the other staff members in the office. So which way I wanted to proceed my data that I have collected. For example, it's like stating like italic, hyperlink. Which one is best for me to use? Like when I want to present.
Yes. As I mentioned when we started, is that these are designed. You want to design your form to present it better to your users. And presenting means that it will not affect your data collection, or it will not affect how your form works. but what it will do is that it will present the form to look better in terms of, or to look easier for your user to read and answer questions. So if you want to use italic, that will be your choice. It will not be like a must that you must use italic for a specific form, or you must use bold for a specific form. But that means that if you want to use italic, maybe you want to emphasize on something, or if you want to use bold, maybe you want to pass some note that do not do this, or you want to pass some emphasis. So that's when you can use bold, italics, or hyperlinks. Hyperlinks is when you want to give reference to your users. So these are some of the things that you can do if you want to do, but it doesn't affect on how the form works.
Well noted, and good clarification for the issues that I've been asking for you. So thank you, Samson.
Okay, thank you as well. So I think we'll have one more question, and then we call it. So there is somebody called Iril Hard Health. I think that's the last person.
So if it is possible, I want to add like some comments in close statements, if it is possible.
Come up again. I didn't hear you clearly.
Can you hear me very well?
Yeah.
I'm saying like, as I have been participating in this session, I want to add some comments as it is very important for us. And if you can give me some close statement, I would appreciate for you. Thank you.
Okay. So for the comments, if you want some comments or more help, I'll direct you to send us an email, and I will be able to answer all the other questions that you might have, or might not be related to this specific session, or if it's related to this session, still you can go ahead and ask. So use our email support@honor.io, and I will be able to help you. So I want to take like the last question from Hill Hard Health. I don't know who is that, or is using like an organization email, so that we finish.
Hello.
Hello, I can hear you.
Hi, Samson. Thank you for organizing this nice session. It is very helpful. This is Gazaim from early Ethiopia. I think I just signed in with the institutional account. I can't change that one. Sorry for that. I'm asking about the appearance of the questions in the form that in the capital letters. So that is very difficult during field times. It's not really suitable, you know, to read. And how we going to change this thing? Thank you. Over to you.
Okay, thank you. So if you have applied theme grid style on your form, you'll notice that all your question will be capitalized, but you can still change it to lowercase, or you can not format it. So you'll use no text transform as your appearance attribute on your form. So we will share the form that has both. After this session, under resources, you will see the form that has no text transform style on your form. And when you test it, you will find that the text has not been transformed, even if you have theme grid as your style under settings worksheet.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I think that marks the end of today's session, and we will proceed with the same webinar series and another webinar under our webinar series, and we will send out the topics for the next session and when it will happen. And then you will get the invite as you got it today. So thank you for joining us. And if you have any other question that has not been answered, as I mentioned, please send the as email through support@owner. Have a great morning, have a great evening, everyone.